Hello and welcome to Things Explained. This is the first video of my series about communication. Now you might ask yourself why I picked this specific topic for my first video series. Well, miscommunication can have many negative effects on us and the people around us, and it is the top reason why relationships don't work out and friendships fail. Communication is the most important thing when it comes to human interaction, and in this video, I'll introduce you to the basics of a good and successful way of communicating. This is going to help you have a better understanding of the models, techniques, and methods I'm going to explain in the next few videos. Now, let's start with the question, what exactly is communication in the first place? Communication is defined as the exchange of information through different means. There are three main types of communication. Verbal communication, which means the exchange of information via words, sentences, etc. Paraverbal communication, which is a part of verbal communication, describes the information we exchange through the volume, pitch, tone, and pacing of our voice when we talk to someone. And then there is nonverbal communication. This includes facial expressions, gestures, and body language. Most of the time, when we interact with others, we use all of those three types of communication simultaneously. Of course, there's also written, visual, and even more types of communication. But for now, let's stick to the three most important ones. To understand the communication between two people even better, I want to introduce you to the so-called communication cycle. It refers to the process of sharing information between the sender and receiver. The stages of the communication cycle are message creation, encoding, channel selection, message transmission, message decoding, and the response. So it starts here, where the sender drafts the message. Then they encode it, which describes the process of putting the information into a message and the way the sender conveys this message, including the verbal, paraverbal, and nonverbal aspects. Now the sender has to choose a channel or a medium to transport their message. This can be, for example, their voice, a written note, a song, or a WhatsApp message. The transmission is the action you then perform. So if we stick to my prior examples, talking, writing, singing, or texting. The decoding process describes the way the receiving party interprets the message and how they understand it. Now they respond and the cycle continues. This is how an uninterrupted communication cycle works. But of course, there are a lot of things that can go wrong here. For example, if you choose a channel or medium the other person can't understand. So for example, if you write a note for a blind person, or sing a song to someone who is deaf. Or if the receiver interprets your message the wrong way because your encoding wasn't clear, and so on. I think by now it's clear why good communication skills are important and that it's a great goal to achieve an effective way of communicating, since we live in a world where we're all dependent on each other and have to interact with our fellow humans on a daily basis. Communicating in a productive and positive way is the key to success. Not just in relationships and friendships, but also in your professional life. Knowing the secrets of a good communication makes life so much easier, reduces stress and negativity. So let's continue with the basics. Empathy, active listening, meta, and open communication. I'm sure we can all agree that being nice, respectful, empathic, and confident are essential for positive interactions. But are you sure that you really know the meaning of all those terms and why they are important? Let me explain, just in case. Empathy. The ability to truly understand the other person, their feelings and motivations. While everyone has different levels of empathy, you can show your communication partner that you're understanding and caring by listening to them actively. This means that you pay all your attention to them. Demonstrate your presence by turning towards them with an open body position. So, for example, not crossing your arms, smiling and nodding occasionally. Ask curious questions and validate them. Don't worry, I'm gonna explain how validation works in my next video. Meta communication is also very important as it helps you and the other person involved to be on the same page about the required effort to successfully communicate with each other. In simple words, it is defined as talking about the way in which communication within a group happens, so that everyone understands and agrees on the communication tools and methods used. Otherwise, you most likely won't get to a point of good, successful, and effective conversations, even if you practice all the things you're gonna learn in this video series. Because if the person you are conversing with doesn't know any of them and communicates in a completely different way, it is definitely going to end in confusion and maybe even conflict. So maybe pause the video right now to get your partner to watch this together with you, or send a link to your friends. Open communication often gets very underrated and overlooked, even though it's extremely important. To communicate honestly and openly means that you express your true thoughts and feelings without hiding them. If you want or expect something, say it directly. Or if something bothers you, don't keep it to yourself and wait for the other person to guess it from your tone or you being grumpy. This makes problem solving so much easier, more effective, and much less complicated and frustrating for everyone involved. So, those were the most important things about communication you have to know to be perfectly prepared for my next video, in which I'm gonna reveal the secrets of talking through conflicts like a pro. So, make sure you hit the subscribe button and to activate the notification bell. If you enjoyed the video and learned something new, let me know by giving it a thumbs up. And of course, feel free to leave a comment as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you'll be there again next time.